Good evening. I welcome you to the New York City Bar Association and impart upon all of you my sincere gratitude for attending this vital and timely event. A panel discussion on the crisis in Haiti, the plague of escalating violence. Let me commence by thanking our revered organization where we are seated today, the New York City Bar Association, the City Bar's fearless president, Mohammed Faridi, my dear colleague and fellow UN committee member, Evelyn Demelsi, the wonderful staff of the New York City Bar, in particular Martha Harris and Jocelyn Arroyo Ariza, for their support and guidance. I would also like to extend gratitude to the following sponsoring and co-sponsoring committees of the City Bar. The United Nations Committee, co-chairs myself and Irvanina. The Council on International Affairs, Chair Margaret McGuinness. The International Human Rights Committee Chair Suchitra Vijayan, and the Inter-American Affairs Committee Chair Yesenia Vascones Yaguel. We are further grateful for the generous support of our co-sponsoring organizations, namely the Haitian American Lawyers Association of New York, the International Women Alliance for Empowerment, the Cyrus R. Vance Center for International Justice, for whom the executive director is Alexander Papachristou, and finally, the International Law Section of the National Bar Association, Barbara A. Simmons, who is chair. Haiti is one of the oldest free nations in the Western Hemisphere after the United States. It has been independent since 1804, but for most of that sacred time spent in the shadows of a promised liberty, it has been ruled by dictators who have depicted sparse interest in the welfare of Haiti's brave people, rendering them as captives shackled by the impunity of blighted, corrupt leaders. I have seen a moving documentary where groups of neighborhoods of Haitians migrate from field to field, planting or harvesting crops to the beat of drums. These lamentable days, however, the Haitian people have been forced to follow the beat of the drums, hearkening a rhythm of evil. Haiti is no stranger to unrest since 1946, with its suffering people who have passed their baton through the hands of one ruthless dictator to the next. Since the early 1970s, thousands of Haitians have fled the country due to dire economic conditions there. Many have sought refuge in the United States, as numerous migrants have, as I have, from countries led by bullies and tyrants. But I am not here to give you a history lesson today. It goes without saying that Haiti faces a long-standing crisis propelled by escalating gang violence since February 29th of 2024, including clashes with police in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. Waves of violence have displaced over 15,000 people. Thousands are seeking refuge with relatives and friends, with gangs now targeting residential areas. An estimated 80% of the capital city is under the control of gangs, including the international airport, which has been closed, and I think our colleague had mentioned that. Looting at Haiti's main port has depleted critical fuel, water, and food supplies to alarming levels, escalating to a severe food insecurity crisis. Gang violence is the culprit of the current crisis in Haiti, of course. But devoid of a strong, well-funded police force, armed groups now control 85% of Port-au-Prince and have begun terrorizing the communities outside of it. At least 2.7 million people live in communities under the merciless threat of gang control. Almost 60% of them are women and girls, the usual victims of civil unrest and of war. A lack of police coupled with gang violence and political entanglement with armed groups has transformed Haiti into one of the deadliest countries in the world. As I had mentioned initially, Haiti has faced years of unstable governmental leadership, with four prime ministers leading the country in 2024 alone. The latest prime minister, Alex Didier Fils-Aimé, was appointed on November 10th, 2024. Between then and November 19th, an additional 20,000 people fled the capital of Port-au-Prince. The alliances between gangs and the political and business elite in Haiti have metamorphosized the country into a major transit hub for illicit drugs entering the United States. effectively transforming it into a narco state. Haiti is on the brink of a famine emergency, and thousands have been desperately trying to cross into the Dominican Republic through unofficial routes. Vulnerable children and their families are desperate for shelter, food, water, and medical assistance. Immediate intervention is imperative to prevent further suffering and loss of life. The restriction on free mobility, the closure of businesses, and the endless looming hardships in the supply of products is exacerbating hunger in a country where food insecurity and malnutrition is systemically and systematically chronic. Naturally, children are the most affected. So how long has Haiti been experiencing this crisis, and what instigates this type of dilemma? Haiti has faced a multi-dimensional crisis for decades, caused by political unrest, as I've said, and economic instability, and this will be addressed, of course, by our panelists. The assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in July 2021 fueled the political turmoil and led to widespread violence. The COVID-19 pandemic further hit Haiti, igniting a conflagration, worsening economic struggles and straining a flailing healthcare system. Natural disasters, including the 2010 earthquake, Hurricane Matthew in 2016, and the August 2021 earthquake, compounded the challenges facing Haitians. Haiti has also faced repeated cholera outbreaks, with the latest 2022 outbreak persistently spreading throughout the country. Hundreds of thousands of children and their families live in some of the most dangerous and besieged communes. Over 362,000 desperate people are internally displaced, and hunger as well as life-threatening malnutrition are at record high across the country. A shocking 2 in 3 children need humanitarian aid in Haiti. This is something that was warned by Catherine Russell, the UNICEF Executive Director, on March 6th of 2024. Hence, what are the challenges and risks for Haitian children? After all, children are our future. A humanitarian crisis delivers the heaviest blow to the most vulnerable, especially children. In Haiti, children are facing unbearable conditions. Children are exposed to violence. Witnessing or experiencing violence firsthand can signal lasting physical, social, and psychological effects. Children are coerced as part of a recruitment campaign into gangs, exposing children to the possibility of elevated levels of violence and exploitation. There is rampant malnutrition and food insecurity. Crisis-induced food shortages and rising prices are placing children at risk of severe malnutrition and its devastating lingering impacts. There exists a lack of protection. Displacement and migration is the proximate cause of current volatile situations and can separate children from their families and caregivers, placing them at a higher risk of abuse. There is limited access to health care. Closed hospitals and disrupted health services render a myriad of suffering children without access to essential, fundamental care and vaccinations. There are disruptions in education. School closures due to security concerns place children at risk of setbacks or lead to a loss of education altogether. Even prior to the recent escalation of violence, the World Bank outlined the immediate risks and complex challenges facing Haitian children in their lives. Over 20% of children may not reach their full physical and intellectual potential due to insufficient nutrition and health care, which impacts cognitive and physical growth. Only 78 out of 100 teenagers are expected to reach the age of 60. I know, a shockingly sober reality for the life expectancy in our contemporary enlightened age, highlighting the seriousness of these safety issues. Children in Haiti are estimated to achieve a mere 45% of their potential due to limited access to quality education and healthcare, which jeopardizes their future job prospects. Since the dawning of this crisis, more than 1,000 schools have been closed due to the violence, and because some schools are being used to house displaced people. This signifies that more than 500,000 children are not able to attend school. We are living in a country where 70% of the population is young, and when you are not offering any opportunities to the youth, and then they are being exposed to violence, the main exit is mostly either migration or a turn to gang activities and to violence. We must provide young people with educational opportunities, and this is vehemently stated by Leslie Michaud, the school program director in Haiti. Even before the recent spike in violence, many Haitians were already struggling, particularly after the August 2021 earthquake. So therefore, there is a global calling for immediate support to aid the vulnerable Haitian population. A secure humanitarian corridor must be opened to ensure essential services like healthcare, food, and water are accessible to impacted children and families. Despite the unpredictable circumstances, we must seek to foster and safeguard children and families with a dedicated commitment to serving those in need. Communities must be sustained by delivering humanitarian aid, food, clean water, and psychosocial support. Cash assistance and psychosocial programs must be implemented in a reach out volunteer program to sustain survivors of gender-based violence. So to conclude, it is no secret that the scope and scale of this crisis in Haiti remains larger than life. Thus, we stand here united today in advocating for enhanced cross-border operations to protect volatile, impressionable children, women, and families fleeing violence, and to make certain that they receive dignified treatment and sustenance. Make no mistake, this is a humanitarian disaster of mass proportions, but there is hope. Before we turn to my dear colleague, this evening's moderator, and to our expert panelists, please think about the crisis in Haiti and all of those that are affected. There is great pity and solidarity for the people whose rights are eroded and compromised, whose blood is shed, and whose freedoms are washed away. We must unite in the restoration of civil order and strive for the restitution of the greatest pursuit of our human experience, the gift of sanctity in the face of adversity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia, our wonderful chair, and also our co-chair, Irvin. And thank you, everyone, for braving the cold to be here today. We appreciate you coming. So I have to say, I have to give my thanks to our committee, the United Nations Committee, for being so passionate about bringing to light, bringing awareness to what's going on in Haiti. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to our wonderful chairs, Irvin and Sophia. Thank you so much. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge a few people that also came all the way from Albany. We have our Assembly Member Judy Griffin that's here. Judy, congratulations. She just won her election, Nassau County, no less. Dr. Fizeme, who also does a lot of work with Haitian American veterans. We have Mimi of the Elmont Cultural Center. Mimi, thank you so much for the work that you do for Haitians. And we have Ms. Barbara of the National Bar Association and the Vice Chair, Robin McCoy. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. Also, that. Okay, why don't you go ahead? Might as well.
Judge Loyer, U.S. Court of Appeals Judge, thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Stéphane Jean of the United Nations Office of Rule of Law and Security Institutions, Department of Peace Operations, in his personal capacity. Thank you so much for being here. So to start, I'd like to ask each member of the panel to please, when I call on you, ask you a question, to please briefly introduce yourself, and we mean briefly, because we have a lot of things to cover. We're going to be talking about social, humanitarian issues, questions on those. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dr. Mathurin, thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking about gang violence, political instability, the economic challenges, to name a few. Okay, so when I say brief introduction of yourself, I mean brief. Thank you so much for being here. So let's start with our historian, Mr. Franz Voltaire from Canada. Mr. Voltaire, can you please talk a little bit about the beauty about Haiti, why Haiti was called, La Perle des Antilles, that means the pearl of the island. Brief and, history of that. Thank you so much.
My name is Franz Voltaire, and I came from Montreal. and I am the director, actually, I'm the director of International Research Center on Haiti and the Caribbean. In fact, I used to speak in French or Spanish or Portuguese more than in English. And so I ask your generosity with my English. When we talk about Perle des Antilles, I have a problem because Perle des Antilles was for the French colonists, not for the Haitian people. Most of the Haitians, in fact, Africans who were brought to Haiti were in hell. It was a system where this colony was the richest colony in the world at that time because sugar was like oil today. And in fact, France benefits from sugar because French don't consume all the sugar, but export the sugar to other parts of Europe. But it's too long to explain. But my intervention will be on Haiti is not an island. Haiti is not an island, not only metaphorically, because Haiti is part of an island, but also you can't understand the history of Haiti and the problem of today if you don't put it in a global perspective, if you don't put it from the beginning. The history of Haiti is a tragedy. It's a tragic history. First of all, the Spaniard colonization means in less than 50 years, all the million inhabitants of the island disappeared. It's not, I can say, the voluntary genocide, but it is a genocide. War, essentially, and also, I have the word in Spanish, hambruna. But in fact, Haiti, most of the population, the Taino population, disappeared in less than 50 years. After that, in 1605, the Spaniard, who control all over the island, decide for the part with Haiti today, what they call devastaciones in Spanish. What that means, they decide that to destroy all the settlements in this part of Haiti and to bring the population to the Spaniard part, what is today Dominican Republic. What that means, that after the 16th century, Haiti was repopulated by the French. And until the 18th century, Haiti was a population of 6,000 people, buccaneers, filibusters, flibustiers, and
Excuse me, I'm so sorry, Mr. Voltaire. You know, because we are a little bit short of time, you know, what was the interest, you know, in terms of what did the Spanish, the French, what made them decide to colonize us in the first place? If you can briefly talk about that, what
because-
made us so interesting like that?
no, because of the French began to settle in Tortuga Island, and they developed a predatory economy. As the Spain interests were essentially in gold, that the reason that the French pirates just tried to attack the galleon and try to keep the gold they bring. And so, but the French was also, most of them were Huguenot, Protestant, and so you have for that reason that the Spaniards were Catholics, where you have the Inquisition, were against the presence of the French in this place. And so they decide, as they can't control all the island, they settle from Santo Domingo to Puerto Plata. And so the French began to colonize this island. Now, when they introduce sugar, sugar needs a lot of manpower. And so it's links with the Middle Passage, with the enslavement of people. Just one data, after 100 years, you have 600,000 people in this small part of the island.
Okay,
Santo Domingo has 60,000 people.
Thank
That means Haiti has more population than all the French colony from New Orleans to Quebec City. It was one of the reasons of the problem. The second term, it's after the revolution. The revolution means conflict from 1791 to 1820. That means that Haiti was in turmoil during all this period. The invasion by Napoleon, just imagine 40,000 soldiers, 5,200, 10,000 more sailors. That means at the time, the logistic that's in play. And things about the US, Dupont de Nemours, who was providing rich logistic for the French, but also the Louisiana Purchase. The French sold Louisiana because they were defeated in Haiti. But in Haiti, it was a devastation conflict. They burned this was a conflict where everything was burned, because when we see in the archives, the problem for the French was to depopulate the island and repopulate that with new slaves from Africa.
Okay.
And so,
Excuse me, I'm so sorry, Mr. Voltaire. Because we are so short on time, Franz Voltaire had prepared this history for us to bring us up to date on everything that's going on right now. But because we're short of time, I'm going to ask you if you can please forgive
you
me.
take me 10 minutes, I will take 5 minutes to finish. Because to understand that, what you have in the 19th century, it was a predatory state after the revolution. As the new elite was not producers as they were during the colony, they have to build a state where they live with the tax the population. And from 1820 to 1915, American occupation of Haiti, what you have a predatory state where the people live, a small elite lives with the tax that the peasant paid. And so you have a state against the nation. 1915, but before 1915, you have 1825, the French, to recognize Haiti, impose what they call Haitian debt. Today, maybe the evaluation means that between $22 billion to $40 billion. You have to make a global evaluation of that. That Haiti has to pay France, and Haiti paid the debt until 1947.
I apologize,
And
Mr. Voltaire.
the other things, after 1910, US replaced French as the main power in the Caribbean because of the Panama Canal, because of the expansion of the US since 1898, that the Republic became an empire.
Mr. Voltaire, I apologize for that.
And just finish that.
No. We don't have much time. We have a lot to cover. I'm going to come back to you to ask you to talk more on Haiti.
No, what I'm saying that
Mr. Voltaire.
No, just finish with that. With a
I
sentence.
apologize because we have one of the
Okay.
panelists that's
Mr. Voltaire,
overseas.
we'll get
It's
back
about-
to you. We will
get
circle
back to you. I promise you.
Thank
I promise you. So because we're going to have, a discussion that is robust, and I'm going to throw questions at you guys since we don't have much time. So before I do that, just briefly tell your name and what you do, and then we're going to go down the line before.
Thank you. Carrier Salage. I'm a Nassau County legislator, and I'm also an attorney. Thank you.
Mercedes. Next, Mercedes.
I'm Mercedes Narcisse. I represent the 46th District in Brooklyn, New York, council member, chair for hospital committee, and I'm a registered nurse.
Thank you. And I think first you guys have been introduced to, please. state your-
Jude Ellie, Haitian Concern.
Sandra Judene, President of the Haitian American Lawyers Association of New York and supervising attorney at Catholic Charities.
Nina, attorney and co-chair of the UN committee.
Thank you so much. So to all members of the panelists, so my first question to you guys is, what is the most urgent issue that you guys think is plaguing Haiti right now? We can start with you, Mr. Solage, Attorney Solage.
Security and health. We have a nation state that has descended into a complete state of chaos. It is a power vacuum. It creates a national security interest for the United States to be involved and to engage. If President-elect Trump has an interest in keeping Haitians in Haiti, then we all should have an interest in making sure that there is safety in Haiti.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dr. Mathurin. I don't see you on the screen. Could you please introduce yourself briefly? Sorry about that. Speak up,
Yes.
please.
Okay, Dr. Jean-Palerme Mathurin. I'm a Haitian economist, and I'm involving also in a civil society organization called Potomitan Haiti. Glad to be with you.
Thank you so much. So the question on the floor for all the panelists is the most urgent issues plaguing Haiti right now. So in your opinion, what do you think that is?
I think in addition to what the colleague has just said in terms of security and health, I think food is one of the critical one. Job in the other part of the country, I think that's two of them. But to cut off the weapons and ammunitions that are flowing into the country is the most critical one.
Part of weapons and ammunition. So please take note, because at the end of this event, we'd like to be able to propose some policy prescriptions either to the UN or to the powers that be, Congress and whomever else. So City Council Member Narcisse, and she's also a nurse, by the way. So please.
Since I'm Haitian, you know, I'm very passionate about Haiti, what's going on, the gang violence and political instability. If we cannot secure that and making sure that people are safe, we're not gonna have Haiti. And right now, no one wanna go to Haiti. I've been part of medical mission for many decades in Haiti and educational mission. We cannot go there, we cannot give support. So the gangs, the flow of weapons gotta stop, and then we have to have government. A country without government is not a country. So that's the pressing issue. We have to have a political.
Thank you. And Mr. Eli, thank you for your response. Mr. Eli.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. And I have to say thank you for the invite, and also to the New York Bar Association for bringing us together, the panel, to together see the situation of Haiti. So I am Jude Ali, a proud son of Haiti, and I cannot remain silent of what's going on in my country. Haiti faces a lot of issues now, but the key one I can say clearly to all of you here is the kidnapping of the population by the gangs. The gangs control 85% of the populations. So now the main key issues that we're facing now in Haiti is the kidnapping of the populations by the gang. The gang violence is the key thing in Haiti now. Thank you.
Thank you. What about you, son?
I echo everyone's sentiments, but I also feel that there's a brain drain in Haiti. So many young, talented people that are coming here, they can't work, they can't, provide assistance to their own country to build it. And I think that's another issue that we're not focusing on is the brain drain.
And also, if there's a question that's posed to the panel members, you're unable to answer, do not want to answer, so please let me know, and then we'll move on to the next question. Irvin, please.
Yes, in addition to security, I think also some real partners internationally in terms of friendly countries to intervene.
International partners.
Yes.
Once, same question to you.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you can solve the problem with this kind of humanitarian only approach. The problem in Haiti, you have to build a new state. You have to build and reform state. What men government want, it's an electoral process. We see what happens in 2010 when the imposition by the international community of Michel Martelly as president of the Republic. I think we published a book years ago by Mr. Setenfus. Setenfus was a Brazilian academic, and we published various books on that, on the cholera, as the Professor Piaou, we published a text in my journal. And the problem is how to build Haiti. It's not, there was a predatory state. We never have democracy in Haiti. In fact, we support government, and we have supported government, and we have this problem.
Okay.
And we have this problem, migration problem will continue if we don't fight, if we don't try to solve the main problem of Haiti, is to have a democratic state. And that means other form of intervention.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I heard gang violence, I heard, cut off the flow of weapons. So in terms of gang violence, Carrie, we'll start with you. What are some of the short and long-term strategies to address gang violence, would you say?
Great. Thank you very much for all the contributions of everybody on the panel. Thank you, Sophia, for your very detailed beginning and introduction. So I represent an area in Long Island where you have many Haitian Americans and many successful, affluent Haitian Americans who are doctors, attorneys, you name it. And we all have an interest in making sure that things change in Haiti. And I want to thank some of my constituents and leaders in the community, like Mimi Pierre Johnson, and also Assemblywoman Griffin, who's here. It means a lot. It shows you that this is an important issue for all of our communities. So as a person that has the ability to put legislation or policy initiatives into the public sphere for debate and also for support and government support, I have tried a number of things to try to raise awareness about this issue. And I admire the strength of my Israeli brothers who saw their brothers and sisters kidnapped by Hamas and other terrorists and sought the courage to put the faces of their loved ones on posters all across New York City and America to let the world know that my loved one is a hostage. So I said, oh, what a great idea. We have a lot of hostages in Haiti, right? We have about 5,000 vagabonds, gang members, right? Who are holding hostage about 30,000 people. I mean, that's really what's going on in Port-au-Prince. So I said, okay, let me find out. Since I have ability and since I have power, let me get some pictures of hostages. But of course, I have to first ask their permission or their family's permission, and that permission was not granted.
Oh.
The level of brutality and savagery that we see by these gang members has created a state of fear that no one wants to speak up and say anything. Even with family members being held hostage at gunpoint, no one wants to say anything because they know that if they do, their family member will be burned alive. The level of violence that we see happening now in Haiti is to a new level. And just when we think that we cannot get to that level, it just goes up to a higher level. And so, so I wasn't able to get pictures of hostages to put on posters so that we could, scream to the world for help because of the level of fear that Haiti has descended in. And so, despite that, I'm here today. Because I believe that it's that 101st conversation that we have is going to gain the attention of the world and oppose a change.
Thank you so much. Yes, that is so touching. Thank you. Assembly, I'm so sorry. City Council Member Narcisse, I know you're very passionate about cutting off the flows of guns to Haiti. So what are your thoughts? What do you suggest that can be done to help alleviate that?
Definitely, we have to cut off the flow of guns. And guns, Haiti, we don't manufacture those kind of weapons, right? So we need help of all international friends, because I would call that Love Haiti. And we need to educate our youth. If they don't go to school right now, we're gonna have more gangs on the street. We don't give them jobs, we're gonna have more gangs on the street. Things are bad, and I can relate with my colleagues here because I used to go to Haiti at least 2 or 3 times a year. So if we don't do that, we're in trouble. Now, how do we beef up our law enforcement as well? Because the gangsters have more new weapons. And then you have a law enforcement that have those little, weapons that they cannot go, a certain way. So therefore, if the international friends want to help us stop the flow, help the law enforcement in Haiti to the full, sincerity and creating job at the same time and push on agriculture. Because we have enough land in Haiti. It's a tropical country. People can eat without waiting for food coming from elsewhere.
Thank you so much. So we have at least two international law attorneys on the panel, and one of those international law attorneys also is works at the UN. But if I may ask Sophia a question in terms of what do you think the international community, and also that also goes for you, Irvin, as well. What do you think the international community can do to help eradicate gangs and gangs activities, and also their access to guns and bullets? As an international human rights lawyer, what are your thoughts?
Oh, that's a loaded question, Evelyn, and I haven't prepared answers. I just
Shall I ask
prepared.
Irvin?
No, but I'm caught off guard. But I will say that it's not to that caliber. But as you can see, that we have quite a devastating problem in the United States of America as well in terms of violence, in terms of gangs, in terms of criminal conduct that is very difficult to curtail. The problem with that is we're looking at it from a domestic lens, and international human rights law, not taking into account jus cogens and normative properties of law, we understand that we have to look at this problem through a domestic national lens and then apply it to international principles of law, because we are guided by the same human principles of eradicating violence. How do we possibly stop that? We haven't managed to stop it in the United States. Guns are rampant wherever we go. I work on 42nd Street. I feel like I'm back in the late 70s, where you could just be mugged or pushed aside or burned to death. How do we challenge ourselves? I think the only way is to appeal to our council members, appeal to our community, our constituents, but not only to appeal, to kind of push forward like Angela Davis did in her time, to stand up for our rights. We have to write petitions. We have to be proactive, and most of us are afraid to do that. And fear perpetuates more fear, and then we are compounded by this type of situation, whether in Haiti or whether in the United States. Those are my thoughts.
Thank you so much. So I have Mr. Eli, and then I'll come to you, Irvin, and also Sandra. So the same question to you: what do you propose the international community can do to help eradicate gangs activities and also the flow of guns and bullets to Haiti?
Thank you for your questions, but I would like to get back to the first question regarding the gang violence in Haiti very quickly, because we need to restore law and order in Haiti. It's a priority. It's very important that we restore law and order in Haiti. In terms of law enforcement, the local law enforcement in Haiti, we have to put more pressure on that we can assist our police force to give them good training that will be able to tackle the gangs. And also, which is very important in terms to fighting the gangs, we have to find a way to deploy investigation and people in the area that occupied by the gangs. So we can do the disarmament and reinsertion with those people. But in terms of the international community, they have to provide technical assistance. Technical assistance provide resources to be able to help the local force in Haiti, because we do need help, we do need support for us to be able to tackle the gang and disrupt the flow of arms and ammunition going to Haiti.
Thank you. So Dr. Mathurin, I would like to ask you the same question in terms of what do you think international stakeholders can do to help eradicate gangs activities, and also the flow of weapons and bullets to Haiti? What are your thoughts?
I think that the main provider of weapons and bullets to Haiti is the United States. So I think the first decision that needs to be taken by the government of the United States, and maybe at the request of the United Nations, is to stop this flow of bullets going to Haiti. You know that the United States, when they want to impose or when they want to prohibit merchandise from one part of the world to another part of the world, they can get it done. So it is not in the United States that they cannot control that. But there's also other countries in the environment, such as the Dominican Republic, or other countries like Jamaica, like Colombia. All these countries, I need there is a focus that needs to be had on such countries regarding weapons and ammunition that they are throwing to Haiti, to the gangs. That's one thing. I think also the other big issue is the relationship between the politicians, the people on power, which get involved with the gangsters. So again, we need to have the ability to punish these people. So, and the third thing is the Haitian people with their empty hands cannot fight gangs. So at some point, we need to have the possibility to have this kind of assistance that can not only permit to investigate, to assess, and to act on the gangsters. Because otherwise, next week, they are not going to talk anymore about 85% of the land of the capital controlled by the gangs. They will talk about the 100% of the capital region controlled by the gangs. Right.
Thank you for your response. So, Irvin, and then we're gonna, before we switch to our next topic, which is gonna be migration, Haitian migration, and I know one of our experts, I'll come to you for that. But before we do that, Irvin, I'd like to ask you, what can the international community do to support Haiti without undermining its sovereignty? Because one of the things the Haitians are very concerned about is international troops coming into Haiti and undermining its sovereignty. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. So I do understand that, I mean, the Haitians' relationship with the sorry, can you hear me now? Yeah. So the Haitian, relationship with the UN and with international, let's say, partners has been very challenging over the years. We all understand that, but exactly 20 years ago, I think in 2005, at the UN summit, we had this principle of responsibility to protect. So the Brazilians came a little bit later with the responsibility while protecting, but this is the point. I mean, Haiti as a state has the responsibility to protect its population. If Haiti is not, the government of Haiti is unable to do that, basically it's a responsibility of the international community to step up and provide for security for the Haitian people and for any other populations, as a matter of fact. So my point is that this is not going to be forever. It's going to be just for the Haitian government to step up and take its responsibility, because no one wants to be there if the Haitian people don't like it. But the point is that it has to start from somewhere, and this is, I think, it's a crucial not only a right, but also responsibility of the international community to step up and provide for security for the Haitian people, at least provisional.
Okay, thank you for your response. So we hear international community needs to step up. We hear flows of guns, bullets to Haiti. Haiti don't manufacture guns, they don't manufacture bullets. But at the same time, for the international community to step up, does the Haitian government have to ask for that help? What are your thoughts on that? A follow-up question to that.
Not in my opinion. It doesn't have to, because as a matter of fact, many governments, as you know, they will not ask for any assistance from outside. There are so many dictatorships, as a matter of fact, that are committing atrocities in their own countries. And no dictatorship will invite willingly any foreign troops because they could be and will be a threat, for their power. So I do believe that regardless of what the Haitian government might think about it, it is the responsibility of the international community, in case that the Haitian government cannot provide security, to step up and provide this security for them.
Okay, so far we've seen that the international community really hasn't stepped up, and we're at a critical point. So at which point do they step up? So we have someone here. I don't know if you want to talk in your capacity, if you want to say a few words to that. So keep that in mind. We'll come back to you. But I know here in the US, we are concerned about the flow of Haitian migrants. We don't see them as human. We don't see them as people trying to look for a better life. We see them as people coming here to take our resources. Meanwhile, a lot of these people, there's no opportunity, like, you've said on the table, for these people to have jobs, their security, family security. So now when these people come to the US looking for that better opportunity, what are some of the things that you see? Because I know you deal with Haitian migrants every day in your daily work. So Sandra, if you can talk about that.
So, one of the major issues with people coming from Haiti now that they're seeking asylum, they're going to be barred from asylum because they lived in another country, such as Brazil, Chile, and they have residence in those countries. And so when they come here to cross that Dorian Gap to get here, they face a lot of psychological issues. Sometimes they're kidnapped on their way, sometimes they're beaten on their way here. The children, they suffer, and so now they're in school and they're acting out in school, and the parents don't know how to deal with that. Teachers don't know how to deal with that because the children have no way to express the psychological damage that they've been facing. So we have a mental health crisis as well. And then we have the fear. They're afraid. What's going to happen with my TPS? What's going to happen because I can't file for asylum? What's going to happen because the CHNV program is going to be over? Those are all the things that when they come to my office, I have to counsel them and explain to them, these are your legal remedies. These are some of the things you can do. And for most people, there's nothing we can do based on the law. And so one of the things that we're trying to focus on as Haitian lawyers and not just Haitian lawyers, but other immigration attorneys is what kind of policies we can work on to help and I don't like to call them migrants because migrants seems like it's just an economic reason. Most people are here because it's dangerous. Just to live, to breathe, it's just dangerous. And so calling them migrants just diminishes, why they're here. It's how we can help them and what kind of legal remedies that are available to these people when they're here. And then they're faced with, you're eating cats and dogs, like innocuous things that make them feel that they're not wanted anywhere. And so, like I said, the psychological aspect of it, the political aspect of it, it's just a lot, and the language barrier as well. And so with programs like at Catholic Charities, at least we have Haitian Americans and Haitians that can speak to our people. But when they go to court, even the translators are not good. And sometimes I'm arguing with the translator. That's not what my client said, because that one word can make a difference. And so it's just advocating on that side, trying to get language access for the clients when they're here. And so there's so many different issues, but that's some of the few things that I can say right now.
But also we have to address the fact that when Haitians come here looking for a better life, not just Haitians, but since we're on the topic of Haiti, the impact that they have on that community's resources. So that's why a lot of people want them to go back home. They don't want them there. If you can talk about some of those issues that you see communities here facing because of the extra, weight on the resources of the local government.
One thing that was a stark issue is when the Biden parole came out. And so families said, okay, I'm going to send for you to come here. And some of the members of that were here cannot help their family members, or there was property, like they had rent to pay, and they say, okay, you can't have this many people in your house. So then these people had to go to a homeless shelter. And then, so the homeless shelter now is moving people every 30, 60 days to different shelters. Medicaid, a lot of people come here with various heart issues. I have a lady who had a brain aneurysm, and so they're burdening the Medicaid system, the hospital system. The schools, they don't have enough space for all these children that are coming in, and they don't have the resources to help the children. Some of them have IEEP issues, and so they, one, they have the language barrier, and then two, they have the educational barrier because a lot of them missed school while they were in Haiti. And so these are all the resources that are burdened by the influx of, non-citizens right now. And so that causes resentment from, people that are here that are, saying, hey, we don't have resources as well, and now you want us to take care of these people. And then we're like, well, we want to take care of these people because, America, that's everyone comes here to better their lives. So it's just that you have to balance it.
So, we have to be fair and talk about, how we are impacted here as well. But everything goes back to the root cause of political instability, does it not? So we have, Kalye, if you want to talk about what are some of the root causes of Haiti's political instability? And then we'll go to you next, Dr. Mathurin.
Well, I mean, the root causes are the political exploitation based on greed by the powers that be in Haiti, that they want to suffocate the country at the country's expense only for their own self-aggrandizement. And whether it be the elites in Pétionville, in the hills in Port-au-Prince, or the elite all across Haiti, there is another level of exploitation that's occurring. And in order to break that up, I think that you must empower other individuals so that those individuals do not continue their monopoly of power. And so a pragmatic solution, in my opinion, is to allow individuals in the Haitian diaspora, people who could prove that both of their parents are from Haiti, to have a say in Haitian elections, to be able to vote in Haitian elections, empowering the diaspora. Now, do you think that they would support that proposition? Probably not. But we must do everything we can to reshape, reform, rewrite the Haitian constitution so that individuals in the Haitian diaspora have a chance. Because the individuals who are there now have proven to be not just ineffective, but self-destructive, with all due respect. And as much as you could blame foreign intervention, yes, France, looting the coffers and the Maroons in 1950, who assisted the looting of the coffers of Haiti. Those funds are now with Citibank and now in France. Good luck in getting that back, because now President Trump-elect's father-in-law is the ambassador of France. But there is hope. It's possible, right? If my sister, Mikael Solage, was able to convince Governor Hochul to do a study on reparations in New York State, then perhaps we could talk about reparations for Haiti. So the root cause is political instability, but it is possible. Because I do recall a time in 1997, right before I went to the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown, I confused one of my Japanese friends with one of my Chinese friends. And the Japanese friend said to me, "Don't you dare confuse me with that Chinese person, because he has the poorest economy in the world."
He has what?
The poorest economy. And now, one generation later, the Chinese economy is one of the most powerful economies. And so it will take a generation. Many people in our community, we just had a concert in Elmont with over 20,000 Haitian Americans celebrating Haitian music. It was beautiful. And even, Michael, one of the members of Karami on the stage, said, "Hey, it'll take a generation."
Okay.
There's this impression that it's going to take a generation to change Haiti. Whether it be true or not, I'll take it, because at least I'll see it. But we must start now.
Okay. So, Dr. Mathurin, stand by, Mr. Eli. I'm going to ask you the same question. The root causes of Haiti's continuing political instability. What do you think?
So, sorry, what I can say is the gangs violence is interconnected.
No. I told him to stand by. Dr. Mathurin, he's all right. Stand by, Dr. Mathurin. Go ahead.
I was saying the gang violence is deeply interconnected with the political instability. So what happened? The gangs feeds the corrupted politicians feeds the gangs to main power, and the gangs feeds the politician to amass more power. And so what happened now in Haiti? The kids, the youth, they don't have success story. And we have to find a way to educate the youth for them to become good Christians and honest citizens to be able to revive the country, to get them trust that they are the future of the country, they are the hero, that they will have the hope for Haiti. So in that sense, we do need to support the youth. They are the future generation, and we have to do that. And one more thing, which is very important, the political instability in Haiti. And I keep saying that to all my friends, my fellow Haitian. If we as Haitian, we keep doing the same thing with the same people, we definitely gonna have the same result. It's time for change. It's time to have the new leadership in Haiti with new vision to be able to restore law. We build this country for us to regain our pride and our dignity.
Thank you so much for your answer. So now to you, Dr. Mathurin, same question. If you don't mind, I don't think the members of the audience know your history a little bit, because I did ask you to keep it short. So could you tell us the role that you played in the Haitian government? Please do keep it short. So that way, when you answer that question, people know where you're coming from.
Thank you, Evelyn. Well, I came from the southern part of the Haiti, from the city of Lekai. I have been trained as an engineer agronomist from the State University of Haiti. And after that, doing my PhD in economics in Paris, France, and my postdoctorate studies also in Paris and France. I have been working for the government of Haiti as the chief economic advisor to the government from 2006 to 2011. I have been the one that has negotiated for Haiti with the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, the investment that has been done in the Labadie area in the northern Haiti, where you have one of the biggest cruise ships going there. But also I have been one of the negotiators for Haiti and the government of the United States to set up the law called the HOPE and HELP legislations. I have been also the one that has negotiated to get the Haitian mangoes back in 2008 to the US market. I have been also the one that has played a critical role to set up the Caracol Industrial Park and so forth. So I am a professor at the State University of Haiti and some other universities in the country. And I am getting involved in with a lot of social organization from the peasant and in inner cities in the country. So I got involved also in politics, and I'm following step by step the descent of the country into this type of death. So when it comes to what should be done to get Haiti out of this continuing political instability, I think a lot of things has been already said on that. But we, from inside, we think that there are some structural elements that will need to be changed into this country. The first is the number of political parties that has been encouraged and created into this country that make whatever people come to power, they can, the day after, decide to boycott and to say that he was not the one that has been elected. And that continue in all level of the political power in the country. Another element is the level of centralization of everything around Port-au-Prince. So while we continue to keep everything depending on Port-au-Prince, we are destroying our country. So today we need to consider a set of reforms, very deep reforms that can bring the country to a real decentralization politically and economically, because the 100% of goods that are being imported into the country has to arrive in Port-au-Prince. So now that Port-au-Prince has been closed, so that brings a lot of issues in the rest of the country. And so as a consequence of political instability, we need to recreate a set of institutions into this country. And the first of them is the National Army. Because all the time that the country used to have the army, there were never this kind of problem of gangs. So we need also to bring institutions that can control the government and the executive. Because again, when you have corruption, corruption has 2 points. One is the private sector, the other one is in the public ones. So we have lived that, and we have seen that every day. So so we need to make reforms on the organization of the states. And so we effectively, over the last 30 years, Haiti has lost, please.
I'm so
wait.
sorry. Please don't take us back to 30 years because we don't have much time.
No, just one figure. It's about the number of educated people
Okay.
or skilled people that need to be at the availability of the country. All these people has to give up the country and go to being in the diaspora. So we cannot move too far without accounting with the diaspora of this country. And the other things that need to be
No,
that.
Excuse me, Mr. Mathurin. Give me 1 second. So now we heard people talk about instability, the root causes of political instability. We heard about diaspora involvement, engagement in voting. So I'm going to ask Councilmember Narcisse if you can talk about what do you see, how do you see diaspora engaged in voting or in running for office in Haiti? What are your thoughts on that?
Most definitely. And we have a brain drain right now that's happening. Most of the brain of the Haiti is supposed to be in Haiti to fix Haiti, to make Haiti better outside. So now, how many Haitians in the room? How many Haitians? So between you and I, we are responsible for what's going on. We're not loud enough. We're not engaged enough. I think Haiti is for Haitian to fix. It's not for international to fix.
Definitely.
We have to take conscious of what's going on, and we have to learn something. I wish I can say it in Creole because I love it in Creole. That we cannot put folks that we know that don't have the country at heart in the front, but they're all in for their pockets. They're all in to get rich. You cannot be poor, you don't have anything, and then the minute you serve, you end up with private plane and private this, private that. You know exactly where the money going. Corruption. And we have to say it and call it as it is. Because if we don't do that, we keep saying it's okay to put all those kind of folks in the front to represent us, that we're gonna always have that conversation. Look at Singapore. They focus, they invest in education and structure, educate the young folks, and make sure they can serve their country. Now, if you want to stand our country, and remember, Haiti was much better shape in Singapore when Singapore was going through so much. It's only 50 years. Only 50 years, about 50 years, Singapore is a beautiful country and everyone to visit. So we can do it, but we have to be sincere about this because this is our country.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Voltaire, same question to you. What do you see is Haiti's diaspora engagement in voting or in running for office in Haiti? Your thoughts?
I think most of the international community since 1987, after Duvalier regime, decide a policy not to reinforce the state, but to make the NGOs to govern Haiti. And an American economist, I translate his book, George DeWayne, published a book in 1987. He said, there will millions of Haitians who will leave because of your policy. It was published in English and in French. It's 1987. Now we have a problem with the Biden policy. What we have, 50,000 people. They're supposed to help the poorest people of the Haitians who have to leave Haiti. But what happens? Half of the hospitals, doctors, nurses move here. Half of the university students move here. And what we are, there's a brain drain. And so diaspora is absolutely in this kind of situation necessary to try to help Haiti. But what we see when the Canadian government, I'm talking about Canadian or Quebec's government, a program in Haiti, they don't even try that people, they don't educate, that people who move there and they sell people who don't know nothing about the history of the people, they don't know about the culture, they don't even speak the language. And so you have this kind of situation with a post-colonial attitude, but that means that people won't die. People will move anyway, because if they don't have possibility, either they transform Haiti in a narco state, or even they move outside of Haiti.
Thank you.
That's very important that today we think that this policy has no result. It begins in the 1915 when they moved thousands of Haitians to Cuba or to Dominican Republic.
Into Africa.
And it was mostly. And Duvalier, in the 1961 stand, a lot of Haitians outside of the country. I think it's important that we have new policy to deal with this kind of situation.
Okay, so new policy, we hear that a lot. So I wanted to, because we're short of time, and I do want to give the audience the time to ask questions. So now, Irvin, I'd like to pose this question to you before we move on to questions. So we know right now there's a food shortage in Haiti. People are suffering. People cannot get not even one meal to eat. So I would like to ask this question to you, Irvin. What can the international community do to address food, water, and healthcare insecurity in Haiti, especially food and healthcare right now that is sorely needed? What can the international do to help?
Yes, definitely. I think, I mean, primarily it's about security, and then food and water might come later, because the point is that without security, you will not be able to provide all these, provisions to the Asian people. But as a matter of fact, the UN has mechanisms to do that. It's the World Food Program and other specialized agencies that deal with these matters. And I understand, again, there are these controversies as regards the UN and the other organizations, but I think the international community should definitely do something about it. And also it concerns food and water and other provisions.
Thank you so much. So we hear a lot of international community, right? Especially how US policy, based on what Mr. Voltaire has said, have affected Haiti a lot. So what we've realized under the Clinton administration was that when people bring food, they bring a lot of stuff. So it undermined the economy in a way. So what I've heard Haitians say is, if you create the environment where people are able to sell goods, to sell, the fruit of their labors, you create wealth. So I'd like to keep that in mind, because this is not just an event where we just talk about the issues. We want to provide policy prescriptions to the powers that be. So that's why I'm putting that on the table. So now, before we close on this, and then you have the members ask their questions, I'd like to ask each and one of you to please keep it short. My question is, if you could propose one thing, one policy recommendation to alleviate the Haitian crisis, what would it be? So because I've been studying on this side a lot, so I'm starting with you, Irvin. And you last, Dr. Mathurin. Thank you. You heard the question, right? If the
Yes.
one recommendation that can be used to help alleviate the crisis, what is that one policy recommendation?
So I think, again, I mean, from the international community perspective, I think the Security Council of the UN should take its responsibilities and take clear decisions on Haiti to assist the Asian people. This is what I think might help most. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
It's definitely security. Without security, no one is going to go in there to try to implement any changes. Security is definitely important.
Security, Mr. Eli?
So I will say as well security, but at the same token, I think it would be very important if we launch a campaign of disarmament in Haiti with assistance social to space that gangs are controlling. So my proposition is to launch a national disarmament campaign combined with social, economical assistance to the area where we have gangs control.
Okay, so you guys heard that. Sophia, one policy recommendation?
This isn't so much a policy, maybe it's a more of an esoteric kind of, not far-fetched, but wishful thinking proposition, as I think that, I would agree with holding the Security Council of the United Nations obviously accountable in that mechanism. But however, it is, there's a body and there's a heart, and that could be the heart, the Security Council, but without the body organs, we don't function. And hence, we really have to draw from from inner, and everyone has to be involved. So that's the only way to actually propel and force the United Nations to act. All of our members, all of our national, international members have to come to the forefront to propel this to actually happen within the Security Council. That's what I think.
Thank you so much. Franz, same question?
I think the US can control with this Coast Guard the flow of armament who came to Haiti, because Haiti is not Iraq, it's not Syria. Haiti never produced any armament. And to push that the Dominican Republic, we remember months ago, there is a lot of colonels, high officers in the Dominican Republic who are is contraband of armament to Haiti. I think this can be done. It's not a very expensive process. And the US Coast Guard can control the flow of armament who came to Miami port and you cut the flow of armament to Haiti.
Thank you. Francis?
I'm gonna say just the arm. I'm gonna say the bullets, because if you have the weapon, you don't have the bullets. So stop all of that. And I'm sorry, you say one, but I have to say we have to focus on agriculture. Your belly, your stomach cannot be outside, because when somebody put an embargo on you, you cannot get food. You get to do all kind of nonsense. So that's my thanks, and educating our kids.
Thank you. I'm not scared to identify the 800-pound gorilla in the room. The main policy change would be the position of the United States. By virtue of the Roosevelt Corollary, the Roosevelt Corollary of 1904 determines that all affairs of all nations in the Western Hemisphere is determined by the United States. Like it or not, we are intimately involved in electing leaders in every single country in the Western Hemisphere. Everything that occurs in the Western Hemisphere, we are responsible for. As an example, President Clinton apologized for NAFTA. NAFTA, he called it the earthquake economic policy that forced nations like Mexico, people who've been planting corn for 10,000 years, and they told them, hey, you can't plant corn anymore, forcing them to move into the cities, overcrowding the cities like Port-au-Prince. So the book by Jonathan Demme, he talks about this earthquake foreign policy that the United States is responsible for, that has determined the affairs of all of these countries.
Thank you.
So that would be part of the solution.
Thank you. So now, thank you. So we're going to end the last question with you, Dr. Mathurin. The one policy recommendation that you would recommend to alleviate Haiti's crisis. And then we're going to...
No, there is a lot of things that has been already said, but I would add that the United States of America should cease involving in all this negotiation with the gangsters. As a matter of fact, the National Army Association has sent a letter to the government of the United States declaring, and to the government of Haiti also, declaring that the US ambassador in Haiti should be a persona non grata, because he has received in his office at the US Embassy in Haiti the main chief of the gangs, Barbecue. So if there is no providers of weapons and ammunition and no so close relationship with the gangsters, Haiti would not be in that position.
Dr. Mathurin, a point of clarification. You said, and I quote, U.S. should cease involving negotiation with gangsters. I'm not too clear on that. Can you elaborate a little bit further?
There is many cases in that. as it has been shown on all the networks, all the social media, that the current U.S. ambassador in Haiti has received the gang leader called Jimmy Cerisier Barbecue at the U.S. Embassy in Tabar in Port-au-Prince.
Okay, so that's alleged.
That's
been
one.
alleged.
That one. One of the biggest gangster in Cité de l'Éternel called Izo has been arrested by members of the Haitian army. The U.S. Embassy has been called, and they have taken the guy from the army of Haiti and free him.
Allegedly.
Last week, two of the gangsters from the Tabar and Pétionville area, from the Viterom group, has been arrested again in a military base of the army in Tabar. The U.S. Embassy, for the third time, goes and take them and free them. So
Allegedly. I'm sorry, I have to say that as an attorney, I have to, it's alleged until proven, because we don't have the evidence. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm not able to bring the evidence to you, but I am somebody who they know very well in the country. I'm Dr. Palerme Mathurin, and I'm telling you what we have seen and what we have heard.
Noted, Dr. Mathurin. Noted.
So we even have pictures of these people, and you have a lot of commentaries made on the radios in Haiti regarding that aspect. So the main cause of this instability and this gangsters operation in the country is mainly depend on the U.S. government.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Mathurin. But because we have not seen the evidence you've seen, so I'm gonna stay corrected and say it's been alleged. Okay, but thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. So now the floor is open to you. Who has the first question for our panel members? Go ahead.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, what we heard here today.
Thank you.
There was what's going on in Haiti. We Haitian American lawyers need to help us deal with the situation. It's obvious the hands of the CIA in Haiti who form FRAP, who are killing people in Haiti. And now again, we have this organization. Let's not beat around the bush. We are American. We care about this country. Our situation, he was a U.S. ambassador to Haiti who federate the gangs. We cannot be hypocrite. We want Haitian Americans to go back and fight. We want Haitian police. We can solve the situation. All the millions of dollars, these are corruptions, and they send money. So we can fix the situation. All of you need to help us with the situation in Haiti. The gang violence, everything we see in Haiti are organized because people are stealing the gold. They're stealing the uranium. Let them be hypocrite and fools. Haitians are intelligent people. We're not going to be here in the Bar Association and talk about this.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. The question was, or was just
The question, how can you help us fix the situation in Haiti and sue Citibank, sue all those people who are killing, sue all who are saying, we need lawyers who help us sue those who collect money for the reconstruction of Haiti who never deliver. We need to sue these gangsters. That's all. I can help us regain the money from Citibank and all those people. Thank you.
I'm going to pass that to the president of the Haitian Lawyers Association, Ms. Sandra. The floor is yours.
That's not really possible for us to do.
Okay.
That costs a lot of money.
Yep.
And there's a lot of different international rules. And so in the United States, everything you do has to do with money and resources. And most of us for the Haitian American Lawyers Association, we're not versed in international law. So we would need to build that type of coalition. But
from you. Thank you. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead. There's a feedback from you. You can mute. Go ahead.
And so what Halani has been doing, we're working with one of the foundations is to write a position paper on how to attack certain issues, but one of them was not suing. One of them was regarding the defamation and how to bring up lawsuits about the defamation, because the type of language that's being spoken against Haitians will guide the way the laws are written against Haitians, and so that's what we're working on.
Also immigration.
And immigration,
Thank you.
we're working on immigration issues, and so we can do what we can do.
Thank you so much. Next question, please. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. She has the microphone. Yeah, she's next. Sorry.
Hi, no problem. No problem. I'll pass it right to you after. Hi, my name is Imani St. Hilaire. I'm a 2L at the City University School of Law, along with my colleague.
Second year law
Anna.
student for
Yes.
those of you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this space. I do have a question. I think it was Councilwoman Mercedes who mentioned something about it really is up to the diaspora. And I think that was kind of mentioned, woven throughout the responses. I'm curious about how, and that's not just like the general question of how do we do it, but I don't think there's a single Haitian person that I know that does not know what is going on. My grandmother is like 80 years old and all she's listening to all day long is Haitian politics on TV. There is not a single Haitian American that does not know what is happening. There's an awareness, but there seems to be a disconnect or maybe a lack of engagement or even to know where to go, because I feel like there's a helplessness that is really eating alive Haitian or Haitian Americans. I'm now a first generation Haitian American, but my children will be 2 generations away from ever even seeing the island, and I think that's going to create more and more and more separation. So how is it that we remain this unified group of people that we've always been, but
Lack of
separate
engagement.
in the diaspora? Yeah.
That's a great comment. Yes. So you heard that, and I second that opinion, the lack of engagement or disconnect between, us here, the stuff, yes.
So you totally right, but I strongly believe a united Haitian diaspora is a strong Haiti. We have to stick together. In 1804, but unity, we fight and we win. 2025, we are in 25, we just start the year. I think it's time for us to stick together, all together, to rebuild this nation, to regain our pride and dignity, to have a strong, prosperous Haiti. And we can do it.
Your question or comment?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Bouchereau. I'm a registered investment advisor. And one of the questions that was not actually addressed is the financial aspect of this crisis. But I would like to talk about, security. So there's no investor if there's no security in any country. That's the #1 rule, okay? So what I would like to suggest and to recommend is to offer an amnesty to those gangsters. Why? Because now you can actually bring ask them to bring their weapons. And we offer that. Then we have also, as we know, the last news was there was a Guatemalan soldiers and also Salvadorian soldiers to come to help the law enforcement in Haiti. But again, as Dr. Mathurin has said, there is Mr. Joudeli, there is a problem in Haiti where the politicians are actually behind those gangs. Okay, so there needs to be accountability from the international, which they started with the President Martelly and all these acolytes, as we said, where there was, they stop, for example, their green card, their whatever American citizenship, they froze their assets, basically. So
that's a good start.
Yeah.
Freezing of assets of those.
Freezing of assets, those politicians.
Politicians.
Yeah, who are paid by the Dominican Republic politicians themselves. Okay. So there is definitely where the international community can come in right now. Then Dr. Mathurin, I'm glad that you are here because I was about to speak of hope. The hope which actually give an opportunity for Haiti to get out of the economic situation that we are in, which is the bilateral trade agreements between Haiti and 32 or 42 countries, I think, all over the world, and that's a very good way. And then Mrs. I think the Assemblywoman, Mrs. Narcisse, Council, I'm sorry. The Councilwoman, she mentioned as well agriculture. Yes, again, if nobody can only eat one meal, there is brain problem,
Okay.
serious malnutrition, and I'm a chief financial officer of the International Association of Moringa. We are Haitian, and I wish that you know, I mean, I let people know about this, is that Moringa is the most potent and nutrient-dense botanical on the planet, and we Haitians, we produce the best Moringa on the planet, okay?
Noted. Moringa,
Yes.
everyone.
So
Get her number,
and
get her
one,
card.
one
The
thing.
next comment,
No, I'm
please.
sorry.
We're
One
running
more
out of
thing. I
time.
just want to mention that we have also I Am Farmers Fund to sponsor the farmers in Haiti. So if you are interested, we can do that. We have actually the chief data officer of the International Association of Moringa is actually the engineer that constructed the Caracol. The Caracol is Haiti, and he's also the chief officer of the Haiti Drone Service. So we can actually do that.
Thank you. So please, you know what, that she just mentioned, a lot of us were not aware of that. So can we start a list of those resources? Maybe you can put your name on top and numbers and what you do, what you offer. That way we can start building that database, going back to your lack of engagement. So we can start that tonight. Go ahead.
One of the things I have said all the time, we are disjointed, we are dislocated, we have kind of apart in a lot of things, right? We have so many Haitians outside of Haiti. If each of us give even $1 or $2 and concentrate in the agriculture that we're talking about and find an organization that's reliable, say that we are gonna stand behind those groups and we're gonna say we're gonna build school. We can do so much together. But one of the things that I realize is just how we each individually are very successful. We can do things, but yet when we said l'union fait la force, on the flag, that's all it is. So that we have to stop.
Yeah.
We have to stop. We have to find ourselves in a way to promote and don't let folks, because we have some folks, all they do is destroy, is separating, is saying bad words, running the streets. And if they don't get money for themselves, forget it. We know that. The Haitian knows that. We have to be honest. And those are the things that we need to do. Find some organization that actually sincere about building Haiti and invest in them. And are we willing to do that?
I second that with the agricultural fund. That's something that we can start right now. I used to work for Morgan Stanley, and that was one of the things that I had advocated for, where we have a fund, where we Haitian fund that fund. So please add that to the list of resources. Before you say anything, because I know Dr. Mathurin is probably very late by where you are. I don't know if you need to come off the call, you may, but if you have to come off, I just wanted to ask you, I know that you had some investments, you had investors. I know we mentioned investors, we mentioned growing Haiti's economy. Can you talk about those investors? Where are you now with that project?
Well, I am the chairman of a company called Haiti Industrial Development International, ADI SA, which is a kind of umbrella company which is bringing investors all that can be set all around the countries. Actually, and for the last 3 years, we are fighting against the government of Haiti to have the authorization to set up a significant investment in the northeast of the country through a project called Oasis International Free Zone, Oasis Village International Free Zone, which has the potential to create 16,000 direct jobs and around 100,000 indirect jobs. with 25 companies, international companies, including 6 critical services that the whole country needs, including port facilities, electricity, fuel storage, gas storage, banking, and telecommunications. Because we are an international place, we need all these services there. But we designed the project so that above 30% of the services can be delivered also to the whole northern region. Unfortunately, as of today, we don't have, we have talked with 3 prime ministers and even this current government. We have written to the president of the transitional administration, architect Leslie Voltaire. We have written to the prime minister, Fizeme. As of today, we cannot have any answer from them. So the same thing for the southern region. So the issue today, when we talk about corruption, we realize that corruption is one of the main problems that this country needs to address, because without corruptions, we won't have all these gangs. So corruption is maybe the one reason. The other reason is the fact maybe they don't want to decentralize this country, because once they close Port-au-Prince, everybody suffers. So we wish that by the same token, that you can add the need for investment for this country, the need for institutional reforms of this country, the needs to get the army back to this country, but a Haitian army, not an army that is being acting under the behalf of any foreign powers. So we need to have this country move forward.
We had the question and answer phase. If you don't mind, would you be able to write your recommendations to us? And, whatever follow-up we do, whether it's with the UN Security Council or the UN.
With a lot of pleasure, with a lot of pleasure. And I think I have already written a letter to the United Nations asking them to help, because we know that they have power to request things from the government of Haiti. But I think that even if maybe they don't listen to them too, because myself as Haitian, they don't listen to me.
I'm sorry to hear that, but that's why we're having this discussion. Next question. Go ahead. Question or comment?
I have a question. So since you are on the UN committee, I think this is, I guess, appropriate to ask. So when cholera broke out in Haiti, it was because of the UN peacekeepers from Nepal that brought it. And currently, overnight, UN trucks are collecting uranium from Haitian mines, which is very important right now when we're talking about electric vehicles. And knowing that the United States currently, Elon Musk is going to take a cabinet position, and he has a big company that it will need the resources that Haiti has, as well as Tiffany Trump, Donald Trump's youngest daughter, being married to one of the a relative of one of the elite families of in Haiti. Right now, we're at a critical moment, and yes, in Haiti, there's security instability, but also the international powers that be that like to put their hands within Haiti, they're not a help as well. So how can we charge not just some people that are guilty of international crimes, but as well as put that to the forefront, because often the finger is pointed at Haiti and what's going within, and yes, the corruption, but a lot of the people that's coming to help Haiti are also robbing us of our dignity Gucci and Chanel, they're taking our resources for their perfumes when you talk about the vetiver. And so using those resources that we have within Haiti to build the economy, we have rich resources in gas, gold, vetiver, uranium, all of those things. So how can we, because all the international people, gangsters know that we have all of these things. Unfortunately, because of the brain drain and greed, Haitians are letting people just take from us. So how can we put that to the forefront to build up the economy in Haiti?
Thank you. So because we're running out of time, please keep your questions and comments short. But everything that she said, it's alleged, right? It's alleged because we don't have the evidence to prove that, uranium is being stolen or that these international companies are doing what's been alleged, okay? So we're going to Dr. No, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Yes.
And then, thank you.
All right, I'll be brief. My name is Robin McCoy. I'm the vice chair for the MBA International Law section. We have our Madam Chair, Barbara Simmons, right here. And we did a panel in July about the crisis in Haiti because as I was hearing about what was happening in the Ukraine and in the Palestine and everything, I'm like, we got people right here in our backyard. We have Black people that are suffering and there's no coverage of this. And I was like, we need to do something. And so we did part 1. We're gonna do part 2 in Chicago. So I came here to listen. Also, if there are any of you panelists that wanna come and join us, I came here to steal some of y'all, because that's what I do. I'm a hunter-gatherer. My background's cultural anthropology. But anyway, Evelyn, this has been a wonderful panel. You guys are amazing. So if you want to check out our event, you can go to Robin Legal, Robin with a Y, and you can see our panel that we did. It's also on my YouTube, The Crisis in Haiti. And we talked about some of this stuff that you guys talked about, but we said we had to come back and do reparations. And we were talking about TPS and now asylum and refugee status. So just thank you, and Robin Legal, and I'm going to pass it on. I know you guys are pressed for time.
Thank you. And that's from the National Bar Association, chair of the International Law section and the vice chair of that section. They flew in today, as some of you have, to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Fritz Fizeme. I'm president of the Haitian American Veterans Association. And the first thing I want to do is acknowledge French Voltaire is a giant in the Haitian community.
Yes.
And thank you, Carrier. Thank you, Mimi, for being here. Listen, this is very personal for me. I live in Haiti. I actually have my kids right now. I have 3 children in Haiti and a wife. And I'm listening to the conversation, and we're not even hitting close to what's going on here. Because, listen, the problem is, I'm a veteran. I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, okay? And listen, for me, this is hard because the country, I'm an American citizen and ready to fight for this country at any moment. And this is the country that's destroying Haiti, where I was born. And, there's a big disconnect, by the way, between the diaspora and the Haitian people.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, people talking about diaspora. We have to begin, there's some work that diaspora has to do to gain the confidence of the Haitian people. Okay? It's the first stop. Second, listen, we can stop this in one day. One day. It doesn't take much. And we having conversations about agriculture, about nothing can happen. I mean, Jeremy is producing a lot of vegetables and fruits, but they can't take it to the market in Port-au-Prince. So we have over 5-6 million people living in Port-au-Prince, a city that was designed for 250,000 people. So no electricity, no schools. I have 3 kids that go to school down there. Every day I have to call, make sure they got home. Why is it that the Haitian American elected officials here have never used the platform that they have and once put their heads together and asked Washington, what the hell is going on? But we keep going around and around and around, and nothing is getting done. And as we speak right now, this is the scenario in Port-au-Prince. Okay, people talking about 80%. Listen, right now they're surrounded Port-au-Prince. They have the people like animals, in one area. And I keep wondering as a military person if they're about to drop a bomb on them.
Are you talking about the gangsters surrounding the people? Is that what you're
The
saying?
gangsters are surrounding the people, and they have more capacity than the police. And these Africans and whoever they brought in this country, they're supposed to be protecting us. They're not doing a damn thing. The roads are closed. You can't move from one place to another. In other words, we're isolated in Haiti, so the powers that be can do what it is that they do. So what we need to do, and there are two things I'll say and then I'll stop. Frederick Douglass wrote in his memoirs, because you know they sent black folks to, after 40 years of recognizing us finally, they sent black folks, because you know most blacks were Republicans. They said, well, let the animals go deal with the animals, okay? So Frederick Douglass was so, he could not believe. He could not believe his ears and et cetera. So he wrote in his memoirs his experience as ambassador to Haiti from the United States, in case anyone doesn't know.
Thank you.
And we're at a point right now, we're at a point that if we do not take hold of this thing, there will not be a Haiti tomorrow. And if Haiti, anything happens to Haiti, all the diaspora, we can act like we're living a good life here, going to parties and doing this and all that stuff, we're going to suffer also. We're going to suffer, okay? And we don't know what's gonna happen down the road as of 20th of January. And we have Haitians that are being deported to Haiti with all this stuff that's going on. There's a plane of 70 people who landed in Haiti about a couple of weeks ago. So in case, and you were throwing as an attorney, let me tell you something. I just came from Haiti. So I know what's going on with the ambassador. Actually, they had to return those people because the population went crazy.
Okay.
So it is happening. There's a relationship. CNN goes down and interviews Vitalom, who has a $1 million bounty on
Gangster.
it.
Vitalom is one of the gangsters.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
So the question I want to ask, because we do have two elected officials here.
We have more than two. We have several of them.
Well, no, I'm talking about Haitian American elected officials. We need to do something. And I know, Carrie, I know you're, but we need to do something.
Thank you.
Just to be fair, he said that Haitian elected officials have a responsibility and they have not performed. I do want to say that we are organized. We are part of regional, national organizations such as the National Association of Haitian Elected Officials, and we, NEON, and we collectively meet and we collectively have discussed these issues, and we have sent representatives to the White House, to President Biden, to demand answers, and we have not gotten a response from the own leaders that we have supported. The same leaders who came to our community with the kneeling, asking for support, we did not hold them accountable and still supported his administration. So just to be very clear, absolutely, but just to be very clear, we have asked the federal administration for the same relief that you have asked, and they have failed.
Okay, Mercedes, before you say anything, 1 second, please. City Councilwoman Mercedes Narcisse, had asked me to go represent her at a meeting with Majority Leader Schumer. Okay, the thing was there was a huge interest in trying to help Haiti, but I know the Biden administration is on its way out. So I don't know how much they can do between the time I went to that meeting with him, maybe 2 weeks ago, and now. So just to be transparent, okay? So there's an interest, however little the time frame is to try to do something. City Councilman
If it's any time more than ever, we are well aware of what's going on. And I am very disturbed, like you just said, about having barbecue representing Haitian in Haiti. I don't know how those things happening. And when you have to get involved, like me, as a nurse, as I used to be a triage nurse, you have to see all the people in front of you, and you have to make the decision who's more critical than the others. And you can see the person looking great, and then that person looking bad, and the person that looking great is about to die on you. So therefore, you have to make decision. You have to have information. You have to have data. All those things you're saying, we are trying to analyze it. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, because I represent United States of America now in New York City at best, because I'm a city council from the municipal part. But having said that, I know that my country that I love right now and the country that I was birthed, I know there is something going on. There is some dynamic going on that's back in the 1900s. So our job, even we're listening, we're trying to do our very best, but we're not naive of what's going on. We've been in the same room having conversation. And I'm one of the person that always, keep it straight and keep it honest as much as I can. And I have asked some tough questions, believe me. And I had sent Madame Dalmasy to represent my lawyer, saying like, okay, I need a lawyer's ears to go to that meeting for me because I cannot attend that meeting. So there is conversation. And if anything, we need all of y'all when we call up, so you showed up. Because a lot of time, Haitian talks a lot, but when it comes to the time for the production in the warehouse, you turn around, a lot of them not present. This is our country, like I said. We know, I heard you, the young lady, I heard so many statistics, so many words, so many things happening. I'm still trying to gather to see how I can touch it. It's very disease, it's bad in our hands. But I truly believe if our heart and soul is for Haiti, we can change this, but we have to believe in ourselves. We have to not listen to all the noise, but stay focused. I say agriculture. I'm always part of education. We're gonna have to get triage out the good organization in the meanwhile while we're working to make sure those guys have support. Rice should not be coming from Arkansas for Haiti. That's all I can say.
So we have to close, the time is up, but I know Mr. Stéphane Jean of the UN, Department of Peace Operations, you have the last word because I'd love to know what the UN has to say, even if it's at the personal level.
Thank you very much. First of all, I didn't plan to speak, but since you kindly asked a bit earlier, I would like, first of all, to acknowledge and thanks the excellent presentation that were made by the various presenters today. Just by way of background, in terms of my work, I coordinate a small team that is providing support to BINU, our peace operation in Haiti, in the areas of police, justice, correction, and other areas. And I should add also that I am myself Haitian Canadian. Moi-même, c'est mon Jacques Mel, c'est l'âme sortie, m'pap jamais plié, côté m'sorti, le m'a fait travail ça. So we've heard today, if I may summarize, and we share a very similar perspective. Haiti faced three sets of problems, if I can synthesize it that way. First one is security and the rule of law. This is obviously the first area. We have as an example, last year, based on the data from our team on the ground, we had 5,500 people that were killed in Haiti, essentially as a result of the gang violence. Haiti right now, and more specifically Port-au-Prince and the Artibonite, is one of the most dangerous areas in the world as we speak, short perhaps of Gaza and other crises. So we have this big problem, particularly in the capital, about 5,500 gangs controlling 80% of the capital. So security, rule of law. We also have, I would like to get back to what Mr. Volta was saying also in terms of cultural change. Fundamental issues related to the rule of law. We say in Creole, Constitution c'est papier, bayonet c'est fer. The Constitution is made out of paper, the bayonet is made out of steel. We have things that needs to change, obviously, in terms of the rule of law. I won't elaborate too much here, but this is a major challenge. Second set of challenge, good governance and the rule of law. Good governance, sorry, and more importantly, electing these institutions that needs to be in place. There's no parliament in Haiti right now. We have a transitional presidential council that should be followed by election, and we have a judicial branch that is highly dysfunctional. And all of this, and I would like to get back to the comments that you made, Madame Councillor, in terms of corruption. So this is a second cluster of problem, right? The second set of problems that we are facing in Haiti is related to the humanitarian situation as well as social and economic conditions. 60% of the population suffers from food insecurity. So we have these three things. So what do? We've heard a lot of recommendations today. I would just like to mention very briefly in the next 60 seconds, 6 sets of issues as we see it, certainly from the perspective of the United Nations in terms of things that needs to happen to particularly address the first set of issues in terms of security and the rule of law. First, we have a force that is on the ground, international force, supporting the Haitian National Police. This force has been mandated by the Security Council. We have about 500 elements on the ground right now from Kenya, Salvador, Guatemala. We need to reach that full strength of 2,500. The Secretary General of the United Nations has asked for that. This is absolutely critical in order to support the police, the Haitian National Police, and their activities. We've also been asked last November, and my team is working on that, to look at a certain number of options in terms of the way forward. This has been asked by the Security Council of the UN. We are working on that with our Haitian partners, with the Haitian government, to formulate a certain number of recommendations to deal with that. Second critical issue is the sanction regime. There is already a sanction regime. People were talking about trafficking in weapons, ammunition, and so forth. There is a sanction regime that has been in place since 2022 of the Security Council. So it is quite important for all member states to take the necessary measures to enforce that sanction regime, including investigation and prosecution of those that are violating that regime. So this is already there. Third one is building the capacity of the Haitian National Police and the armed forces, and we've talked about that a bit earlier. This is essential to build resilience. Another point, investigation and prosecution of serious crimes. These crimes are fueling conflict. So how do we focus on that through specialized units and other specialized mechanism? And then lastly, in terms of gang dynamics, your initial query, right, you had in terms of gangs, I just want to add that we've had in the past relatively successful programs in Haiti in terms of community violence reduction, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. By the way, 60% of the members of these gangs are kids, they're minors. So they're at the same time perpetrators as well as victims. So we need to, yes, investigate, prosecute these gang leaders, but also find a way out for these kids in terms of rehabilitation and so forth. So these are just some of the ideas, certainly some of the points that we've been pushing forward. I just wanted to put this on the agenda. And of course, if some of you individually, I'll be very happy to speak with you in a more personal capacity as needed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So everyone here, members of Attorney DeBrosse, I see you. Hi, thanks for coming. So members of the panel, thank you so much for your great insights, for what you've been able to share with us. Irvin, Sandra, Mr. Eli, Sophia, our chair, Juan's there, Mercedes, Taye, and you who made this, possible. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Okay. The final word. Oh, mon Dieu. We've heard quite. Oh, mon Dieu. Or as we say it from where I come from, oh, Boże. So I can say I'm of Eastern European descent. I'm proud American, but today, with all the passion and resilience, I would like to be considered Haitian. Honestly. When considering the name and the title of this program, as we always do, a crisis in Haiti, the plague of escalating violence came to my mind. And it's a sour note, but from what I've heard from our panelists today and from the questions, the astute questions that were asked, we are facing a crisis in Haiti. We share a shared responsibility in the United States and as the people of Haiti and as citizens of the world to be able to change the fate of the people that suffer, not just in Haiti, but in any nation. And we are blessed to have the New York City Bar Association as a venue to address these important issues. I want to thank everyone for coming here, for the invaluable time of the great minds that are here present, representing Haiti and the people that have spoken today from the United Nations. Again, thank you. It is with un grand plaisir. And so, bonne nuit, good night, and go with God. Be blessed. Thank you very much.